All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to I Am Reminiscent, where astrology meets intuition. We're going to take a deep dive into the stars and talk about Jupiter retrograde.
And I see it's gone to some astrology. Well, baby, I can see your face.
All right, so today we're diving into Jupiter retrograde, which is a time to pause and reflect on growth, wisdom, and abundance, which Jupiter does pretty much represent. Okay, so we're going to get into what is Jupiter retrograde? What are some key energies of this retrograde, and give you some examples? How are we going to navigate Jupiter's retrograde? At the time of recording, Jupiter is currently retrograde in Gemini. So we're going to go over a list of do's and don'ts, some tools to help with alignment, as well as a call to action at the end. Okay. So what is Jupiter retrograde anyway? Okay. And like all the other retrograde videos, I'm going to say it again, so I might sound like a broken record. But the retrograde happens when the planet gets as close to Earth as it possibly can before it stops, and we're continuing to move. So it looks like that other planet has stopped and is going backwards. But with Jupiter, the energy gets as close as it can to Earth. So um, the frequency of Jupiter, which is all about growth, expansion. Um, Jupiter does represent the planet of expansion, higher education or higher learning, especially spiritual learning. This could be religion as well as legalization of things. But it does symbolize growth and abundance. Jupiter is the gift giver. So when it's retrograde, it's telling us to go within, to question the things that we believe. Um, Jupiter is about going the long haul with things as well. So we want to go back over our long term goals and redefine what success and values mean to us, because these are the things that are being magnified when Jupiter is at play. Okay, you're not really going backwards. You're not really taking a step back. You're actually being invited to you're you're being invited to reflect and recalibrate from the inside out. Okay. So next we are going into some key energies for the retrograde. Okay. The retrograde's impact does depend on the zodiac sign it is currently retrograding. For example, last year we had Taurus. So when it retrograded in Taurus, everyone was focused on their financial stability and the inner values that we hold that help us to maintain our identity and how we see ourselves. Right now we are having Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, which is causing us to reassess, what we have been learning, who or what we're communicating with, who are our true rooted friendships, like how those are faring right now, taking a back at that, looking around at our what's the closest to us, what resources we have that are closest to us that we can actually use to move steps ahead, instead of trying to like big jump into plans or you know projects that we haven't really gone fully into learning just yet. We're still fresh and new to some things. Jupiter retrograde in Gemini also is asking us to um, recalibrate the mind. Okay. So, some examples of personal growth or some challenges when it comes to the Jupiter retrograde is revisiting unfinished projects, which is a big one with retrogrades. Questioning outdated beliefs, because Jupiter represents the belief system, the organized way of those belief systems could have been passed down through generations. And addressing feelings of stagnation, as Jupiter is related to water and fire, so it has to move, it has to be persistently moving. Okay, so let's talk about how we're going to navigate this Jupiter retrograde. Some do's: reflect on your vision, journal and meditate, as well as revisit your past lessons. So some of the past lessons with Jupiter can be in regards to life lessons, because Jupiter is where we learn lessons about life that changes how we perceive life overall, like the reason why we're doing things, or the faith system. We may be questioning the faith system that we have, if it's actually working for us, and seeing ways that we can change it. Some journaling prompts I have here are, what does abundance mean to me? Are my goals aligned with my values, and what beliefs no longer serving me? Okay. Some don'ts we have is to avoid overcommitting. Jupiter is a very zealous energy, and with Jupiter in retrograde, we might overdo it. You may overeat, overwork, over rest, over populate, overlearn, like over exercise. So be careful. And another don't is don't resist reflection. Embrace the slower pace. Okay. Eight of Wands, Jupiter, Sagittarius energy is about things moving very swiftly. And retrograde is a time for us to slow it down and recalibrate. So, some tools that could actually help us with remaining aligned during this process here with the Jupiter retrograde. Some crystals. Okay, some crystals we have here on this list is actually my favorites. So I have here amethyst, which enhances wisdom. It does help give a very calm and soothing nature as well. It's very good for um reconnecting with your upper chakras, especially third eye and crown chakras. Citrine is a bit of a like yellow orangish color crystal, and that has a lot to do with boosting our optimism, which Jupiter definitely exhibits optimism. And citrine is really good for attracting abundance as well. Saladite is a blue stone, and it's really good. I have one right here actually. It's shaped like a macabre, but it's a saladite. But selenite is a good stone that helps encourage clarity. It does, being blue, it does work with your throat chakra, helping you to open up and communicate as well as listen to your higher power, your source, to develop more strength and your intuition. And those are some really good crystals for Jupiter retrograde. I'm pretty sure there's more, but I just got a few of each of these. The next one I'm gonna look into is, or talk about, is herbs here. We got sage, basil, and dandelion. Everyone knows sage is very good for cleansing energy, to break up, dispel some energy that has just taken place. Basil is a really good herb that helps with focusing. Basil is really good for protection as well. Dandelion. Lastly, dandelion is really good at supporting grounding. Okay, I actually drink a lot of dandelion root tea. It's really good with cleansing out the liver, and the liver actually is good with copper and It's a cleanser. It's a detoxer of the body and the blood and things of that nature. And dandelion helps ground our values into the world. Also helps too with our psychic gifts being released. Okay, some daily practices during the Jupiter retrograde. Um, you want to do gratitude journaling during Jupiter retrograde. The retrograde is helping us to recalibrate some of our, or all of our, perception on how we view life and its purpose. So that can get kind of grim sometimes. It's just, living a human life. So it's very good to practice having a gratitude journal. Meditation for clarity. Again, like the soladite and amethyst are really good with clearing the energy up in the head area, the head space. So making sure you do meditation, a form of sitting still for clarity, helps break up the energy around you, so that you're not constantly running around with a million thoughts in your head that you're trying to figure out how to get rid of. Just sit and allow those clouds to just, or thoughts, to just pass by like clouds in the sky, and not attach to them. Just let them blow by. It'll help with clarity, because you want to be crystal clear on the decisions that you're making and how you're choosing to move forward. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius as well as Pisces, and they both have to do with dreams. And bringing those dreams to reality um, requires clarity. The last one I have on this list, um, it does have tarot and oracle readings, but with Jupiter, I would say just looking into any deep um, faith based option to help you with recalibrating, finding the right one, and or more than likely, especially moving forward in this day and age, creating your own religion, your own rituals, your own routine that keeps you aligned with your higher power is also a very, very good benefic system to have in place during Jupiter retrogrades. All right, so Jupiter retrograde is a good time to go back and reconnect with our higher power, our spirit. Jupiter is the God. Okay, it represents that God element, that God power. Okay, Jupiter gives us gifts, which is the abundance. So wherever your Jupiter placement is, that is your gift from your higher power that you're here to use and grow and expand and continue to use that muscle, whatever that skill or gift is. You need to exercise it to grow it. Okay, so when Jupiter goes retrograde, especially depending on the sign, it's going to have certain perceptions of that energy that is going to be reviewed and balanced again. So if you were born with a Jupiter retrograde in your chart, retrogrades, of course, will be easier for you when Jupiter goes retrograde compared to others. However, you've had to grow and learn how to live your life in a very calibrated way. Because this is a time where we reassess. You're constantly reassessing your belief systems all the time when you have Jupiter retrograde natally in your chart. So eventually, especially past our Saturn return, you start to appreciate all those times that you were doing over and over again, assessing your belief system. You start to trust yourself more. And that's the whole purpose of the Jupiter retrograde, is to allow you to reassess what your belief systems are and how they align with your values, if they actually are, and make changes, necessary changes. Retrograde Jupiter is a time when people can just stop believing in certain things and start believing in other things, and it's a mutable energy, right? So change, just like life, is necessary. Things have to change in order to grow. So yeah, I hope you learned something in this video. If this video resonated with you, if you are a Jupiter retrograde natal person, drop a comment below and tell us how that reassessment of your belief system, religion, even the legal system has had its blessings and curses for you. Also, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share your experiences of what Jupiter retrogrades have done for you. For me, in particular, I have Jupiter in Cancer, and it's going to go into Cancer next year. So I'm kind of excited to have my Jupiter return because I'm ready. The last 12 years have been a lot of work, and during that time, I was very much a stay-at-home mother. So it's like I keep getting that feeling like, don't rush, just stay in that kind of element where you allow things to happen piece by piece and just do what you can. Jupiter in Gemini right now, retrograde, definitely highlights some of the more mentalities that we've acquired over time that are changing. And Jupiter in Gemini is at work. In Sagittarius, it's domicile, it's at home, but it's at work. So it's doing overtime to make up for all the energy that Gemini doesn't have compared to Sag, which Gemini is like learning the foundations of something to build on, where Sagittarius is you've already learned it, now you're mastering it. Okay. And during the retrograde right now, there's a lot of things that we are learning right now that maybe we thought we've mastered or we thought we've aced, but we're still learning the reason behind whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. And remember that the universe is always guiding you. So stay aligned, stay radiant, and see you next time.